Yo, back again with another video, man. Hey, today's video, we are going to talk on a very, very, very important topic. Today's topic, we will be discussing why modern day degeneracy must end. Down to the indoctrination, down to the enjoyment of the things that destroy us, down to the things that we perceive as entertainment. We must reconstruct it all. We must take ourselves out of a specific way of thinking and allow ourselves to be placed into our own way of thinking. See, for example, right? A lot of us grew up, we went to public school. What we learn in school, what we learn outside of school, what we're learning in the world in general is only to groom you to be structured. And the funny thing about it is the way the system works and the way the industrial system works is if I tell you something and I tell you it enough, you'll eventually start to believe it. If I tell you you're meant to work a 9 to 5 for the rest of your life, and when you take that way of thinking and duplicate it throughout neighborhoods, cities, communities, combined with food that's low quality, social media, everything to pull, everything to grasp some form of your attention, you'll begin to realize that you are your only savior. You are your only savior. From the aspect of what you consume, how well you clean the body, how well you are allowing the body to be as grand from physically, from psychologically, from your internal spirit, all things connected like a spider web. It's just coexisting at one time. But for my young men out there, for my young women out there, for individuals that may be older than me, I want you to know that the things that you are going through, the things that you are doing, these things do not make you. These things do not shape you. You are the author of your story. Right now, if you know that you have a really bad drinking habit, you know you have a really bad smoking habit, you know you have a really bad issue with gambling, vices after vices after vices, right now, right? What I want you to do is, I want you to get a piece of paper and I want you to write all of your vices down. And after you write those vices down, I want you to read them out loud. It might burden you to do so. It might even make you get emotional. I want you to read those out loud. You could be in your room. You could be on the toilet. You could be in your car. Choice is yours. But I want you to read those words out loud. And what I want you to do after that is, I want you to crumble that shit up, whether you got a lighter, whether you got a trash can. And what I want you to do is, right, I want you to ball that shit up as hard as you can. And I want you to evaporate that motherfucker. Whether you got to light it on the stove, don't burn your house down being a dumbass. Whether you got to put it in the trash, whatever you, the premises of this, right? If you want to be a new person, that new person requires new habits. Those new habits require discipline. And that discipline requires structure. So for that reasoning, If you are not aware of your certain triggers, your certain habits, your certain things around you, whether that be friends, family, etc., that are making you be a low value individual, a low vibrational individual, those things must be removed. Because for instance, if I continuously keep pushing the trash down when I could just take it out, it's just going to keep piling up, piling up, piling up until ultimately that trash will start overflowing and start falling everywhere. So if you don't unpack that trauma, which is the hardest thing to do in this lifetime because there's so much of it, there's trauma that's even passed down through generations. Honestly, not just from your mother and your father, but, you know, your hereditary structure from what you're eating, your habits, all of those things can be highly influenced through your genetic marker. Your mom could have been a really big drinker, and it's like as soon as you picked up that first shot, that first bottle, you just could never seem to put it down. Why is that? It's like as soon as you picked up that marijuana and rolled it up for the first time, it's like you just fell in love. Or your problems faded away. You get a sense brief of reality. You get to escape just for a little bit. And that's all you ever wanted to, just escape just for a little bit. And you fell in love with that feeling of escape. But if I'm being honest with you, life itself is the most beautiful thing that can be experienced. No matter if you in the trenches right now, no matter if you sit in a cell right now, you're living. You're breathing in oxygen. You get to do that. You get to go out and experience this thing we call life. Down to the trees, down to the Most High. Being able to have that connection with yourself, to have the connection with the Most High. Being able to allow the Most High to guide you, to meet new people, have new connections with people, conversations with people, etc., etc., etc. But the degeneracy from the overall mass, the overall standard of just scrolling all day on social media, bro, you don't got to do that. Because the real life that we live in every day is so much more expansive and so much more grandiose than just overall just being in a self-imposed exile of you glued to your phone screen. I'm here to tell you that no matter what age you are, bro, no matter if you're 16, 17, 18, whatever the case may be, bro, you get to write your story, bro. Every day. Every day is a new step. Every day is a new journey. Every day is another way for you to be creatively free, you to be spiritually free, you to be mentally free, and for you to be financially free. But I want you to know that all things require balance. If you want to be a gym rat, but mentally your psychic is off due to an imbalance, etc., etc., it could be a multitude of things. Those things have to be in sync. This is why I speak on a lot of your habits are your overall foundation, because if you're not financially stable, but you want to travel, you can't do that because you don't have the funds. But if you are saving, if you are finding new opportunities, if you are going in your cerebral, right? Going deep into that cerebral, going deep into that cortex, going deep into that subconscious, going deep into that creative ability that goes on up top, that TV that just doesn't turn off, it just runs all day. You go deep into that, you find yourself some more, you get more in tune with yourself, you develop those healthy habits, you'll start to realize that purpose is there. Purpose is right there. It's there. up top. Your best ideas are always going to come from your own mind. No matter if you're getting inspired by something, no matter if you're in a certain vicinity, no matter what it is, bro, at the end of the day, bro, you are allowing yourself to expand and to flourish. You are allowing yourself to step into a new hemisphere, a new universe, something that you couldn't even comprehend beforehand. This is what I talk about when I say free yourself from the slave, indoctrinated mindset that society tries to give you. I'm here to tell you that the matrix that everybody tells you we're in, the so-called agenda, elites, etc., they have no power over you. You want to know why? Because you are your savior. I choose to eat healthy. I also choose to go to the gym. I also choose to be smart with my money. I also choose not to indulge into certain things. I also choose to not indulge to hang around certain people. I always choose to pray. I choose to strengthen my spiritual connection with self. I choose to do things like this because I know that it brings me a sense of self. When I'm eating donuts and I'm eating cookies and I'm eating chips and I'm eating XYZ, I'm not as sharp as I can. I'm not as focused as I can, and I'm not as in sync as I know I can be. Why? Because that sugar, those fats, those saturated fats, etc., is slowing down my body physically, my brain, and a multitude of other things. So when you know better, you do better, bro. When you know better, you do better, my nigga. So listen, bro, like listen. And like really listen when I say this shit. The life that you want, whether you want to be the next LeBron James, whether you want to be the next UFC fighter, whether you want to be the next big content creator, whatever that individual is, whatever he wants, whatever she wants, etc., it can be accomplished. It can definitely be accomplished, but your habits and the way you live your life day by day, the connection you have with God, etc., will determine how far you really get to accomplishing that specific goal. Because the more that you pull away from God with these substances, with these women, with this over infatuation, with just overall degeneracy, and just doing things that are out of alignment with you, you will continuously feel like you're not getting to where you want to be. You will continuously feel like you're losing. You will continuously feel like you're losing sense of yourself, your soul, and you just feel like you're playing tug of war with life when that's not supposed to be the case. Sometimes love is war. Sometimes life does get hard. Sometimes things do get a little rough around the edges. But at the same time, life is to be lived. Life is to also be loved. Life is also to be enjoyed. So how can you enjoy life if you got liver disease from drinking every day? Or how can you enjoy life if you got throat cancer from overly smoking marijuana, or you can't think or develop any good ideas because you're weeded all the time and you're not focused? You feel me? So like I said, I say the same shit in a lot of my videos. Sacrifice. What are you willing to sacrifice for that life that you say that you want? Nobody knows really how much work you are putting in but you. Nobody really knows what you're doing but you. You could tell this person what you're doing. You can make it seem like it's this when it's really not. But you know. You know if you really punching that clock or not. You know if you really bullshitting or not. So this is what I mean when I say sacrifice. Sacrifice them drinks, bro. Sacrifice that partying. Sacrifice that woman. You know what I'm saying? Those women that you just lust over. You feel me? That infatuation with sex, etc. Because it's just a distraction. And it's just the other guy trying to get you off your shit. Why do you peak game, right? Every time you start to get focused and every time you start to climb up that hill, Why do you think so many things happen? Just like God will give you a test, because there is no testimony without a test, you have to realize that the more that you go up, the more that you exceed expectation, the more that you develop as a man, is the more that that other guy is going to want to try to loop you in, because all he can do is take. He can't give any life, can't give anything to you. Only thing he can do is take in exchange for nothing, because your soul is everything. So when you drinking them bottles and you just socializing, you thinking everything is cool, but you poisoning yourself, that's slowly taking years off of your life. You start to age in the face. You start to age with your body. You start to just look bad. You smoking all day. Now you getting weeded all the time. You can't think as sharp as you was. You can't be as sharp as you once were. You can't make decisive decisions. Now you want to be a businessman, but you can't even go on a meeting and talk to people with intelligence because you high. Same goes for RX pills and all these different things that people do nowadays. It's just a run from a certain feeling, but that feeling is a guide. That trauma is a teacher. All of these things that we go through, these things are our teachers. These things help us be better. These things are going to allow us to be better than we are currently and be better than we will be eventually. So trauma isn't your enemy. The mistakes that you made don't define you. The individual that you are right now doesn't have to be the individual you are in a decade or in a year or in 5 years. But that decision is up to you. But the more that you keep wasting the essence of time and the thing that we can't get back, is the more that you'll just start living life feeling like, I'm just ready to just get out of here. Because you're not living. You're just wasting time. So this is what I mean when I say, bro, like, being a righteous man doesn't mean that you never make mistakes. Being a righteous man doesn't mean that you won't never have an encounter with a woman, you know what I'm saying, that is so-called not biblical, whatever the case may be, etc. You need those experiences because they help you shape the fact of the matter, and they help you develop a mind state to where you can differentiate right or wrong. I can read something in a book all day, but if I don't experience that thing, then how will I know if this thing is good or bad? If I didn't know to stop at a red light because everybody else is stopping, then I wouldn't know that green is go. You feel me? So you have to start doing things for yourself. You know what I'm saying? It's good to get educated. It's good to read. It's good to get that game. But at the end of the day, bro, live as well. Don't be afraid to live, bro. A lot of my niggas on here, a lot of my self-improvement guys, y'all afraid to live. You know what I'm saying? Y'all afraid to go experience life. You know what I'm saying? Go travel to another country. Go get out of your hometown. Shit, go travel out to another city. You know what I'm saying? And just go view around. You ain't got to be drinking. You ain't got to smoke. You ain't got to do none of that. Just sit back and watch. Let that perspective come. You know what I'm saying? Get into nature a little bit more. Shit, go to a waterfall or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, just get out more. You know what I'm saying? Put yourself out there more. Experience life more. Because there's a lot of beautiful things out here in this world. And the more that you keep yourself away from that, you try to safeguard your way, you know what I'm saying, out of life, or you try to just keep yourself in your room, is the more that you're gonna keep watching porn. You're going to keep fapping. You're going to keep lusting. You're going to keep scrolling. You're going to damn near drive yourself insane because you're trying to confine your body and your mind into a confined space when your mind and your body is supposed to be free. This is why people get osteoporosis. They lose their they lose their muscle, bone mass, dementia, all of these different things, because the mind is supposed to be thinking. The mind is supposed to be expanding. The mind is supposed to be forming new synapses. The mind is supposed to be forming new tissues, new brain cells. Your bone is supposed to be breaking down, building back up, building muscle, etc. Because that's what humans are naturally supposed to do. So for my young guys out there, bro, don't be afraid to live, bro. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Be smart. But don't be afraid to make mistakes, bro. Don't be afraid to take some risks. Don't be afraid to go live life. Because at the end of the day, life is your greatest teacher. You can't teach anybody anything or give anybody any perspective that you don't have. Teachers are the greatest teachers because they're teaching from life. No matter if you got 3 PhDs, no matter if you've been in college for 100 years, no matter about none of that shit. It's life. Individuals that teach and give the most knowledge and perspective are individuals that have just went through life and have just paid attention. Pay attention. Pay attention, bro. You feel me? Modern day degeneracy is on the outside of you, bro. You over here with it. We ain't over there, bro. We over here with it. We on some righteous shit. You on some righteous timing. We get money. We stand focused. We stand away from toxic people. We stand away from toxic women. We stand away from everything that will pull us in another direction that is not in sync with where we're going. Like I said in my other video, you got to stay focused on where you're going, bro. Look forward. Your direction, your navigation is forward. I'm not looking left. I'm not holding the wheel, looking right, left, looking behind me. I'm going to end up in the trees somewhere because I'm not focused. So the more that you stay focused, the more that you stay in sync, the more that you stay in tune, the more that you keep that connection with God, is the further you will go. I promise you, everything that you're waiting on is waiting on you. Everything that you think you need really needs you. Trust me. Hey, but I love y'all, man. Hope this video helped y'all out. Hey, and I'm out. See y'all in the next one.